Good morning. I want to talk to you about minimum acceptable standard this morning. Minimum acceptable standard. Not mine, but yours. What is yours for you? When I was at sixth form, a long time ago now, I was studying English literature as one of my A-levels, and there was a guy whose name I forget, blonde, spiky hair, and he always looked kind of mean. He always wore like a long leather jacket, jeans and boots, and glasses. Very studious, real smart guy. One day he got an essay back, and it was graded A minus, and he was fuming. He was livid. He was actually going red in the face because he was so cross. And somebody who sits near him said, "No, what's up with you? You've got an A." He's like, "It's an A minus." He's like, "Slippery slope. I'm gonna have to rewrite it." And like about 5 of us turned round, like, "What? You got an A and you're gonna rewrite it?" Back then we hand wrote the essays, so we didn't type them. It wasn't a case of you could cut and paste things and just tidy up this paragraph or change that. We had to like write the whole thing out all over again by hand. And yeah, he was deadly serious. He's like, "Slippery slope. No, not having it." He wouldn't tolerate any less than an A. A plus, fine. A minus, not good enough. Minimum acceptable standard. His minimum was an A. He during that first year of sixth form, he wrote some stuff at undergraduate level. That's first year university. You know, this guy was so far ahead of the rest of us at English literature in our sixth form. It was unbelievable. But yeah, that's because his minimum acceptable standard was so high. Now, I'm not advocating an extremely high minimum acceptable standard because it's not for everybody. But you should have one, and you should know what it is, and you should have one for everything. So when we're talking about sport, what's the minimum acceptable effort or amount that you can put in on any given day? And it's got to be on your worst day, not your best day, on your worst day. What is the minimum that is acceptable to you? And you must never compromise it. You can't let it slip or go, "Oh well, my minimum today is this." Your baseline has to be rock bottom. You will never ever deliver any less than that. Why am I talking about this? Because it happened to me yesterday. Just for whatever reason, I did not have it yesterday. It wasn't with me, whatever it is, and I was struggling. So I got my sheet out, crossed off anything that was above my minimum acceptable standard, and just made sure I delivered the bare minimum. As you get more experienced and as you get stronger and as you get better at your sport, your minimum acceptable standard will probably rise, which is a great thing. So don't set something too crazy now. You might not need to be like the A minus guy, whose name still escapes me. It might be that you need, an easier goal to begin with, but your minimum acceptable standard, it cannot be compromised. It is a slippery slope from there. So don't accept any less from yourself ever. There are no excuses for going below your minimum acceptable standard. The clue is in the title. The clue's in the phrase. As ever, plan ahead, get ahead, and you'll stay ahead.